What if the limits you feel aren't real, but learned? Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, stated that the mind only obeys what it accepts as truth. In today's story, we explore how your mind stops only where you tell it to. So stay with me till the end so you don't miss something important. In the small, cramped house where Elias grew up, the air was thick with the scent of old grease and the sound of no. His father, a man who had seen his own dreams crumble, viewed ambition as a dangerous form of arrogance. Every time Elias showed a spark of creativity, whether it was drawing on napkins or building towers out of scrap wood, his father would offer a grim warning. "Elias, look at your hands. They are meant for carrying weight, not for drawing dreams. People like us don't design the world. We just pave the roads for the people who do. Don't look up or you'll trip on what's right in front of you." His mother, driven by a fear of disappointment, reinforced a set of unspoken rules that quietly shaped Elias's early adulthood. Stability was always placed above passion. A steady penny, she insisted, was better than a risky dollar. The world, she said, was divided into them and us, and people like them were meant to stay in the shadows so others could stand in the light. Intelligence, in her eyes, was a burden. Studying only made you aware of how little you had. Better to work, eat, and sleep, and ask for nothing more. By the time Elias graduated with an architecture degree, a feat he achieved almost by accident through sheer, joyless grit, he didn't feel like an architect. He felt like an imposter. When he walked into a room, he didn't see space and light, he saw barriers. His parents' voices followed him everywhere, like a radio that couldn't be turned off. Every time he passed a prestigious firm, his mother's words echoed in his mind. "That's not for you, Elias. Don't embarrass yourself." He became a man who was physically present, but mentally imprisoned. He dressed in rags, not because he had to, but because he didn't believe he deserved anything better. Though he had mastered the science of buildings, he lived inside a self-constructed cage of "I can't." His degree felt less like a key and more like a heavy, useless ornament. He spent his days scouring the streets for menial labor, just enough to buy a loaf of bread, fueled by a toxic inner monologue. "You aren't meant for greatness, you're just a survivalist." This was the inheritance his parents left him, not money, but a map of limitations. He believed their words were absolute laws of physics. One rainy evening, while sweeping a construction site for a few coins, Elias found a discarded leather-bound volume titled The Blueprint of the Unseen. He almost threw it away, sneering at the idea that a book could help someone as fixed as him. Instead, he shoved it into his bag. When he reached his cramped room, he tossed it on the floor, where it gathered dust for weeks. On a Tuesday, when the hunger felt sharper than usual and his hope had completely flatlined, the book caught the light. Elias picked it up. He didn't just read it, he inhabited it. The pages spoke of neuroplasticity, of self-imposed ceilings, of how beliefs quietly become prisons. He stopped his frantic hunt for pennies and spent 3 days absorbed in ideas of growth mindset and cognitive reframing. The world outside didn't change. His walls were still peeling and his stomach was still empty, but his internal architecture was being demolished. He realized his parents had never described reality, they had only described their fears. Elias stopped looking for work and started looking for problems to solve. He walked back to a local firm, not with a plea for a job, but with a sketch of a low-cost, sustainable housing unit he had designed in the margins of that old book. He spoke with a foundational self-worth that hadn't existed a month earlier. He wasn't hired as a laborer, he was commissioned as a consultant. By changing the story he told himself, Elias transformed from a man chasing pennies into a man whom opportunities began to chase. The mind has no walls of its own. Every limit you feel was first accepted as truth. The moment you question that belief, the prison cracks. Growth doesn't begin with new opportunities. It begins when you stop agreeing with the story that says you can't.